stream. We got some interesting things to talk about. Maybe later on, in a couple hours, we'll get a guest on. We'll see if anyone wants to debate or have a good faith discussion. I got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about the difference between a leftist and a Democrat because to me, there is no difference, but apparently there's a huge difference, and leftists freak out and cry when, you compare them, you say that they're a Democrat. In my mind, they're both the same because they're both voting Democrat. But we're going to get into that whole conversation. We're going to talk about how, they're also arrogant and condescending. I have a whole Discord full of all kinds of different people. Some are communist, some are socialist, some are Democrats, some are leftists, some are left-wing people. Some are central left, all kinds of different people, libertarian, whatever you can think of. But it's always the leftist that thinks he's better than everybody. It's always the leftist that thinks they know more than the average Joe. I got bad news for him. The leftists didn't make America, they didn't make Europe, and they didn't make Asia. They've created nothing in modern society. They're a failed ideology, and they're inherently wrong about pretty much everything. Now, some of our founding fathers were pretty, rather progressive, but they weren't leftists. None of our presidents were leftists. Some were progressives, and most of the presidents that were progressives, like Wilson, were failures. Wilson was the very first progressive president, I believe, and he was an extreme failure to this country of the United States, and we can't even, when we get into talking about other countries, there hasn't been really, very good, strong, progressive leadership. But that's a whole nother discussion. We're going to be focusing on America. But let's get some people in here first, and then we can be talking and discussing about, progressives, leftists, Trump's ballroom, Argentina, which I'm sure you guys will spam the comments and bring it up. But drop some comments. We got a couple people in here already. I'm interested to see who's watching, so please let me know. Very, very curious. The government's still closed down because the Democrats don't want to open the government back up. They rather, you not get your food stamps. At least they'll get their $250,000 a year, but you won't get your food stamps. They don't even care about their own voter base because most people that vote Democrat are on food stamps and want more food stamps. I mean, not everyone on food stamps, but they all like food stamps. All the Democrats love their good old food stamps. People in other countries don't even understand what food stamps are, what food stamps are for. Hello. Like, you tell a Serbian about food stamps and see what they say to you. They'll be like, what? They give you free food? In Serbia, if we don't work, we starve. Hello, everybody. Smash that like button, though. We don't got any likes. I love when leftists scream at me. They tell me I'm not a Democrat, I'm a leftist. I don't give a damn how far left you are. Smash that like and subscribe button. Business administration degree from Trump University. And then if you tell leftists that you do believe in our country intervening in other countries' conflicts or helping other countries out when they can, forgot whose name. I don't know what we're talking about. But then when you tell other leftists that you believe in, confrontation in other countries when there's, issues, they need help, they're our ally, or something global catastrophe is going down, or being involved in something with the Middle East where our oil prices could skyrocket through the roof, then they scream at you, they say, you're a communist, how dare you want to intervene in countries' conflicts. Sir, I'm not a communist. I'm more capitalistic than you are. So chill out. We get that you're a leftist and you think you're right about everything, but inherently you're wrong about everything. Argentina got money from JP Morgan, so stop crying your eyes out. Grow a pair of nuts and actually research what you yap your mouth about. Deport. Smash that like and subscribe button. Andrea. Deport. Deport every single illegal alien immigrant. None of them are good for our taxpayer system. None of them are good for anything. Just because want someone to do your construction work for $12 a day? You want them to pick your crops, just like you wanted them to do in the the late 1700s? 1788, who's gonna pick my crops? 2025, who's gonna pick my crops? These Democrats haven't changed. Smash that. First off, it was a loan. Second off, a lot of that money came from private banking institutions and other stuff like that. So I don't know what you're complaining about. You have no freaking clue what you're talking about. Go pick up something called Google. You can figure out all the stuff you want to know about. It's all online. I know you guys probably don't have a damn clue about that, but I got good news. You can do something called research. And when you open your big yapping mouth, you can figure some stuff out. But smash that like and subscribe button. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good Friday out there. Subscribe and like the stream. I have my Turkish coffee right here, which the Democrats are also complaining about that they can no longer afford. But let's be honest, if they couldn't afford a $3 cup of coffee and it's now, $3.10, could they ever afford it? Because everything else went down in price. Gasoline is down, a lot of groceries are down, even some coffees are down. But smash that like and subscribe button. Everything is cheaper. The economy is booming. Let's be honest here. 12 months ago, the Democrats didn't have a job. Bring it to present day for a second, they still don't have a job. And guess what? Palestine is free, but they keep unaliving their own people. So we already freed Palestine. Now they decide to harm their own women and children. Back then, progressives, during Abe Lincoln's time, this is what a progressive used to be. Free the slaves. Progressives in 2025, let's cut off the kids' wieners. There's no such thing as progressive. The Republican Party is relatively progressive. They're not extremely right-wing or really all that conservative. But slap that like button. Ooh, I triggered some Democrats. We're just getting started, fella. We're just getting started. Oh, I'm Zionist because I love Israel. How dare you like another country called Israel? You're Zionist scum. The Jews are the reason I can't move out of my mama's house. It ain't my damn fault, buddy. It ain't my damn fault. Maybe if you worked harder and stop blaming other countries for your issues and stop blaming Jewish people, stop blaming black and brown people that are U.S. citizens that did nothing wrong. I mean, at least with the illegal alien immigrants, we can blame them because they're taking up $351 billion of our taxpayer money every single year. But what can you blame about the Jews and the blacks and the legal Hispanics? You just blame them because your life isn't going the way you want it to go? That's exactly what we got to do. Deport, deport, deport. Looks like we got a bunch of Epstein lovers in here. Bunch of Epstein lovers. If you don't love PDF files and if you don't love Epstein, drop a super chat. But if you do love Epstein and you do love PDF files, don't drop a super chat. It's okay. I'll get the message. I will get the message. I will get the message. We get it. You're upset, Doomsday. Your life isn't going the way you want it to go, and mine is, so it's okay to be upset. But keep that hatred to your Democrat Party. Adios. Smash that like button. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get to 50 likes real fast, real quick. Leftists be like, I'm not Democrat. I want to cut off more kids' wieners. Democrats just believe in some bottom surgeries for some kids. I think all kids should cut off their wieners. I don't give a damn about your left-wing bullshit. I don't give a damn. The Democrats lost millions of voters. Millions. They managed to lose the election by millions of votes. Somehow, they're still losing voters. Somehow, we're only 9 months into Trump's second term, and you guys are crying your eyes out, and we've lost millions of freaking Democrat voters. California alone lost 2 million Democrat voters. I mean, what else can I say? What else can I say? It's just going jolly and great. It's like Santa came early this year and delivered me some, Interesting information. Instead of gifts, he told me that, I'm going to gift you 10 million Republican voters this year. And it seems like exactly what he's doing. Or maybe a lot of you call him maybe Dustley, maybe racist Gandalf is my Santa. And this year he delivered me the great news that, we got 10 million new Republican voters thanks to the failed Democrat Party. The majority of this country voted for Trump for a reason. Not because they love cutting off kids' wieners, because they love quite the opposite. They love their conservative family values. But smash that like button. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to ask me about, any questions, feel free to do so, because I'm an open book, especially if you want to talk about, Argentina, which you know nothing about. What's up, Victor? How you doing, man? So how happy would the Democrat Party be if, we got Trump on the $1 coin? Hey, thank you, Bernella. I appreciate you. How upset would the Democrat Party be if we got Trump on the $1 coin or maybe on the $250 bill? I mean, it's really a sort of options we got. Now, I prefer the $250 bill, but if we get Trump on the $1 coin, that would be pretty cool too. But, it would be another tantrum. I think Trump just does stuff at this point to upset liberals and make them have a mental breakdown. Because I think liberals have a breaking point. First off, they get torn down by Trump. Second off, they see their own liberal party doing very disgusting things. Like, you can't tell me there's not laws in California to allow 11, 12, 13-year-old boys cut off their genitalia because they want to identify as a woman. That is indeed happening in California. There's plenty of evidence out there. There's plenty of proof. Hey, what's up, Tom? How are you doing? Can we get to 50 likes real quick? It's really not that many, guys. Just smash and slap that like button. Just stop with the stupidity. How dare you? How dare you expose the Democrat Party for mutilating kids, wieners, and whatnot? How dare you like Israel? How dare you? I'm going to get really pissed and watch this Trump dude and sit here and type out a bunch of things. Maybe I'll upset him. Maybe I can troll this Trump dude. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I like your effort. I'll give you A for effort. Welfare threats, real or not? Oh, welfare threats are real. If we don't get the government back on by next year, or not by next year, by this next month, or next year, then all your benefits will be gone by next year. It could stay shut down until next year. If you ask me, this is no longer about giving illegal alien immigrants insurance. This is about trying to crash the Trump economy, about trying to make Trump look bad. We can literally pass this continuing resolution. If they want to change something about insurance, they can change it later on. It doesn't need to be passed right here, right now. What's important is keeping the government open. But they don't give a damn if you get your welfare, your Social Security. Now, as far as I know, for EBT and welfare, there's a good chance if the government is still shut down next month, they're not going to get any of that. And there's already, plenty of queens out there, plenty of welfare queens out there saying if they don't get their welfare, they're going to loot and rob every store. I got bad news for you. That ain't going to go too well in red states. That kind of stuff might work in like California, New York, where you can legally steal stuff without it being a criminal charge or a felony charge. But I got bad news for you. If you try to steal anything in Florida and you get caught, it's not looking too good for you. Not looking too good for you. They're definitely going to find you. Especially if you steal a whole freaking shopping cart full of stuff, like some of these welfare queens are crying. They're saying, I'm not getting my food stamps next month. The Democrats are going to keep the government shut down. So I'm just going to, steal a bunch of stuff. I got bad news for you. You're going to get caught. A lot of Democrats are going to go to jail because they can't get their food stamps. You're a Democrat that's going to go to jail because your own Democrat Party wants to keep the government shut down. That's not my damn fault. It's normal in Oregon? Yeah, in Oregon too. I wasn't going to sit here and list all the liberal safe havens for, thieves and robbers, but that's definitely one of them. Level up the likes, fellas. Level up the likes. 50 likes, guys. We're almost there. Then we can try to get to 100. I don't know how you can possibly call me foolish when you don't even know that your Democrat Party has been giving illegal alien immigrants plenty of housing and plenty of benefits. Plenty. Plenty of housing, plenty of benefits, free insurance, all kinds of stuff. You don't even know about it. What else is new? New York? Oh, New York. Debate? Thoughts? Oh, yeah. New York is about to have Mamdani, and I think less than 2 weeks they're going to have Mamdani as their mayor. Oh, God. That's only going to increase the hatred between the Democrat Party and Trump because release the O.J. Simpson files. Yeah, no kidding, Brunel. Funny enough, one of my family members actually used to hang out with, O.J. Simpson, but they weren't scared of him, and they never asked him about the allegations either. But that's a whole another story, another topic. But yeah, New York is gonna go down the shitter, so it's not looking too good. Not looking too good at all. But also, let's see what other news we have in because a lot of stuff is going on right now. It's all going really fast, so it's hard to keep up sometimes. But like I said, we might get Letitia James. Letitia James got indicted today, and they were screaming, "Free Letitia! Go, go, let her go, Letitia James." I'm a big believer, and especially for these lawyers and these prosecutors, it's about time some of these lawyers and prosecutors get their days. It seems like they've been immune from the law for a long time. I possibly could not feel bad for a lawyer or a prosecutor getting indicted. They should be able to fight their charges better than anyone else, and if they're really innocent, the truth will come out. All 20 people in Letitia's crowd, they had more media than people. Yeah, I saw that for sure, but I still heard a bunch of them screaming at the top of their lungs. Hundreds of thousands of mail-in ballots pour in as GOP looks to flip blue state. New Jersey? They're about to flip New Jersey, it looks like. But that's going to be interesting. Let's see what else is going on right now. White House renovations. Ooh, don't say that word. They got White House renovations, derangement syndrome. They didn't care about Barack Obama's basketball court, which they paid for. They didn't care about FDR's private pool. I mean, they weren't alive back then, anyone really, but the Democrats still didn't care about it back then. They didn't care about a lot of stuff. Smash that like and subscribe button. If you guys have any questions and comments, feel free to drop some super chats. We've already talked about Argentina. You should probably educate yourself because I'm just going to tell you everything you could tell yourself in probably about 5 minutes if you just did some Google research. But if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to drop some super chats. Or hell, if you just don't like PDF files and you don't like Epstein, let me know. Drop some super chats because I'm seeing a lot of Epstein supporters in here. A lot of Epstein supporters. I haven't seen one single person disavow Epstein yet. Or the Democrats are relatively mad. It's hilarious. All I'm seeing is a bunch of Epstein supporters in here. No on Prop 50. Salute. Thank you. Yeah, vote no on Prop 50, guys. No on Prop 50. We don't need to redistrict California so we can have more freaking, Democrat voters, more Democrat. Wood chipper. What is going on? Just exposing the Democrats as usual. Biden laptop files, please. Colorado is about to do it too. I mean, they really need more votes for the Democrats. They're a blue state. What makes this rage bait? Are you getting upset? I'm sorry that you're getting upset, but this is not for rage bait. Can we get to 100 likes, fellas? We're almost there. You reminded me, I need a coffee for this. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to have a second coffee, but I don't know. Should I? Should I do a poll? Professional rage baiter? What makes this rage bait? Biden still owes me an 8 ball. I'm not surprised about that. Push-ups. I mean, I'm down to do 300 to 400 push-ups for a $20 super chat. No kings? Congratulations. I understand we have no kings. No, Victor. That Lipton stuff ain't too good for you. You need to drink coffee, man. Lipton doesn't even give you energy. Someone said, hell yeah, Victor. Do I debate? Absolutely. Join my Discord. I think I was about to send a link for it, but I just got sidetracked with all these conversations. You know what tastes really good? My favorite thing to eat is an Argentinian steak with some tariff coffee. Oh, it's wonderful. Because everything is cheaper now. That's why we got Trump. Gas is cheaper. Grocery prices are cheaper. Everything in America is cheaper. Really don't know how you could be upset about that. Not to mention there's more jobs than ever. What's something you look forward to? A friend's birthday party or Halloween hangout? Try something socially positive. It's healthy for you. I mean, I just had a really socially positive night. I'm not going to go into my evening or how my night was, but I ate some good food. I'll just put it at that. But Halloween, a friend's birthday party, yeah, I do all that stuff too. I'm very socially healthy. I'm very healthy in general. I'm 6'5". I can do hundreds of push-ups. I can run circles around the Democrats all day. I can speak better than them. Folgers is not really that good, to be honest with you. Turkish coffee. Now get you some good Turkish coffee. Gas prices are going down. Crude oil just broke 60 a barrel, and it's dropping. Ukraine is going to lose their war. Good evening, God bless America. How are you doing? Eggs are cheap. If you're complaining about eggs that are $2.40, you might just want to work harder. Because $2.40 is cheap. I mean, minimum wage workers can freaking buy 2 months of eggs with 1 hour of their work. So why would you complain about egg prices? F the Turkish coffee. Honduras coffee is the best. Hell yeah, what's up, Dennis? How you doing, man? I never tried Honduran coffee, but I'm down to try some, man. You just gotta recommend me some kind of brands. I'm good, man. I just heard some crazy news. Maybe you didn't hear this. First off, there was also news that Trump might be making a new bill that's a $250 bill, which I think we need. Let's be honest. The $100 bill has lost a lot of value since the COVID pandemic because of all the money they printed. I think they printed something like 36% of the total monetary supply of the US dollar during COVID. Once again, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's somewhere around there. And second off, we're hearing that they might make the $250 bill, but also they got the $1 Trump coin that might be coming in 2026. So I'm excited to hear about that. If they have the $250 Trump bill, I think that'd be better. But if they have the $1 Trump coin, I'll get that as well. I'm sure everyone will be trying to get their hands on it. I just hope they mass produce it. Let them make a couple million of it. Oof, I like my sweet tea, chai tea, Monster Energy tea, melatonin, laced gray tea, tea. Tea's good, but I used to be more of an energy drink kind of guy myself, but then I started switching to coffee only because coffee just gives me so much more energy. It's also a lot healthier for me overall. I'm trying to avoid unnecessary sugars in my diet. Even though I'm not overweight or anything, I just think it's healthier for me in general. Even though my health is great. My health is good, but I just want to avoid any kind of unnecessary sugars. I just paid $2.40 for gas, far from $4 plus. Yeah, in Florida, gas is dropping. It was at $2.78. It's even dropped since then. And when Biden was president, it was touching into $4. It was basically $4. Now it's around, $2.78. I even heard some places have it for $2.40. So this is a statistic that you can't lie about. You can't lie about inflation, you can't lie about GDP, and you can't lie about gas prices because these are well-established, known statistics. This kind of stuff you cannot lie about. This isn't the information where you can just say, well, this or that, or, all this stuff. And why would we, well, like I said before, we should not free Letitia James. Blue Steel. My friend reminds me more of Blue Steel, but yeah. He used to have this crazy haircut, and we would say Blue Steel. Oh yeah, the thing that's very interesting right now, we talked about this a little bit this morning, but the NBA ties to the mafia schemes, the FBI director, Kash Patel, breaking down on a lot of the illegal gambling and scams that are going on, and also the second illegal alien immigrant that was arrested, he killed 3 people in his driving. What? I'm not trying to make this a racial thing. I'm not trying to be racist here, but there was an Indian guy in Florida. He killed, I think, 3 people from his shitty truck driving. Now, we got another Indian guy, I think is in California, that killed 3 or 4 people with his shitting driving. And they both had that, what do you call that stuff that they put on their head? They both had a head wrap. I can't think of the name of it for whatever reason at the moment. But they both had that head wrap around their head. It's just like, why are we letting these people have commercial driver's license? Why? It just doesn't make much sense to me. Democrat lawmaker admits party using federal workers as leverage and shutdown. Wow, that's unfortunate. Now that you got multiple Democrats turning on their own people at the moment. California driver was a DUI? Oof. Yeah, I don't care even if you're on a visa. I don't care what kind of citizenship or status you have. If you're not a permanent citizenship, if you don't have a permanent citizenship, even if you're a green card holder, any kind of visa holder, any kind of green card, if you get a DUI, I think it should be instant removal from the country. Instantly. There should be no, second chances for immigrants that are coming and getting DUIs. That's just a no-go in my opinion. None whatsoever. State slammed for a trans athlete ruling. Upside down priority. I already have a crazy idea what they're probably talking about. They're probably going to say in some liberal state, maybe it's California, maybe it's, I don't know, New York. Maybe they're going to say, oh, this is okay. We can let these trans athletes, participate with men. Before Trump, we had MMA. Look this up yourself if you don't believe me. We had men dressed as women playing MMA. I don't care if you take hormones. I don't care if you cut off your wiener. That's never going to change the fact that you're a natural born man and you have more strength. You have more strength as a man. It doesn't matter, if you do all this gender affirming care and stuff like that. That's never going to, it's never going to make you a woman. I hate to tell you this. This isn't hate. This is just facts. But can we get to 100 likes, guys? We're almost there. Hello, everyone. How's everyone else doing? Slap that like button. Is this satire? What's satire? Everything I've said is the truth and facts. Trans can do what they do, but I don't want to pay for it. I don't think anything they have, not even their hormones, should be paid with taxpayer funds. And that's a whole nother conversation. I have heard stories where transgenders get their surgeries, or not even their surgeries. I'm not even going to say surgeries. Let's just put a broad definition over this because I really got to research this. I have heard transgenders having, what they need done paid for by the taxpayers, especially hormones. Hey, enjoy your drive, man. Be safe. Keep your eyes on the road. And I know at least in Florida, driving in the rain is not a joke. We have crazy rain in Florida. But during the raining months, it's not so good. But yeah, it's crazy now. We got John Fetterman. We got some other Democrat lawmakers. We got a bunch of people now blaming their own party for trying to take advantage of people during the government shutdown. And the way I look at it, this isn't even about giving the illegals health care anymore. This is just about, making Trump look bad, trying to crash the economy. Like, they just made the most ridiculous demands. They know Trump isn't gonna give in. They know that everyone else isn't gonna give in. And I think this is just one big attempt to make Trump look bad. Because if this shutdown continues into next year, and at the same time we have increased tariffs, I mean, I think the economy is doing well right now. I think even with the tariffs, prices are lower overall. Some things might be higher. I'm not saying all things, but most things are lower than they were in 2024 and 2023, including gas. But if we get way sky high tariffs like the ones on China, or we say no more trade with China, which I've heard Trump has rumored to say. Remember 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when I said Trump is going to increase tariffs, and then he did? Now I'm telling you guys there is a small possibility that Trump does the exact same thing he did with Canada, which he said no more trade at all, because Canada posted a fake advertisement. What was the advertisement they posted? It was about tariffs. It was Ronald Reagan, and they made, I think it was AI or it was fake, where they said, oh, something about Ronald Reagan, and then Trump said, no more trade with China for this. No more trade whatsoever. Release the files. Well, how about this? If you want to say release the files, if you guys want to troll me and ask me to release the files, you know what I'll say? If you don't like Epstein, if you don't like PDF files, then drop a super chat so everyone can know. If not, you might be an Epstein lover. So far, only 2 people drop super chats, so that kind of shows me that, these are the only 2 people that don't like Epstein and don't like PDF files. But, I mean, everyone has 99 cents. It's a Friday. But a lot of you Democrats out there crying about Epstein and Trump are secretly PDF file supporters, secretly Epstein file supporters, especially the Democrat Party. But you don't got to do anything. You don't got to prove it to me. Just prove it to the world. And, But smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Rage bait. A bunch of angry Democrats. Hey, see, Levy doesn't like Epstein. He doesn't like PDF files. Levy Thornburg. He does not like PDF files. He does not like Epstein. But it seems like the rest of you do. Hey, thank you, Hunter. XX Hunter doesn't like PDF files. He doesn't like Epstein. But it seems like all the other Democrats watching this love him. Unless if I know you or if you're a moderator, if we've had discussions one-on-one, then you don't have to. But if I don't know you, there's a good chance that you do support Epstein and you do wish he was still alive. Smash that like and subscribe button. Nice baked, very delicious. If you guys want to see my new haircut so badly, I would show you for a delicious $20 super chat. But just because you guys tell me to do something, it's not really encouraging me to do it. 2 Canadian bucks. Well, at least Corey doesn't like Epstein and he doesn't like PDF files. I don't know if the rest of you guys can say the same, honestly. Because literally everyone has 99 cents, but I know for a fact a lot of these people scrolling through these YouTube videos are literally Epstein supporters or PDF supporters. Why do they always comment Epstein on my thing? Must be because they love Epstein. That's probably why. That's the only thing I can think of, to be honest with you. Only thing I can really think about, to be honest. Because if they didn't like Epstein and they didn't like PDF files, they would have dropped a super chat. Unless they're like a moderator or I know them personally, then of course they don't have to. Like Victor, we already know Victor's a good guy. He's been on stream before. He's obviously a reasonable, conservative American. But the rest of you guys probably support Epstein and are probably PDF files. Because A, you keep asking me about Epstein, and B, I don't have the files. I released 125K pages already. Stop bugging, Graham. Dennis, release the files. Release the files. Release the files. The funny thing is here they go. They're always with the Epstein and the Tylenol thing. The funny thing is your mama ate more Tylenol because Trump told her not to. And I don't want to eat any Tylenol. It's been done, but they can't read. The funny thing is, if they cared about Epstein so much, they would have opened the files and turned to at least the first page. At least read the flight logs. At least read the first page. I mean, I'm not asking for much. Just open the flight logs and read the first page if you care about Epstein so much. But the thing is, they don't care about Epstein. They love Epstein. If they didn't love Epstein, they would have dropped a super chat to tell me they don't like PDF files and they don't like Epstein. But they love Epstein. So, I mean, like 4 or 5 people drop super chats to let me know they don't like Epstein and they don't like PDF files. But the rest of you were silent. You just said Epstein, Epstein, Diddy, Epstein. First off, Trump isn't freaking freeing Diddy. He's not freeing Maxwell, so it's been like 3 months now, and all you say is, he's gonna release the diddler, he's gonna release Maxwell. Just shut up already, that's not happening. Just go back to crying about the White House. By the way, the White House was demolished, quote unquote, multiple times. You didn't complain when Obama built a basketball court. I'm pretty sure that basketball court cost more than the ballroom, but you didn't complain about that. See, they love Diddy-stein. They love Diddy, they love Epstein, because all they do is talk about him in the comments. America, F yeah, hell yeah. Shout out our brothers or our cousins, whatever you want to call them. A couple Canadian folk in here. You guys, 51st state. I would like Canada to become the 51st state. The White House was demolished. I didn't mean the White House. I meant the East Wing. But, there's other places that were demolished, quote unquote. Demolished! They demolished! How dare Donald J. Trump demolish the White House to build a ballroom? He destroyed the whole thing. That's what they be acting like. Like, the White House is fine. The East Wing is fine. We're going to make it better. We're going to make it better. We're going to make it great again. Can we hop in a call? I mean, we can debate for free, but if you want to call me right here, right now on stream, I mean, let me know, but we would have to negotiate something. This is just a solo stream at the moment. The problem with the 51st state for Canada is that there are already states/provinces in Canada. No, I don't think that's the problem. The problem with making Canada the 51st state is how many Democrat voters we'd gain. Because there's a lot of lefties and a lot of liberals over there. I think we should just move all the conservatives in Canada from wherever they are to Alberta, and we can have Alberta as the 51st state, because then they'll vote conservatively. I mean, it's only fair. The Democrat Party imports their voters. Why can't we import a little? We don't even got to import. Why can't we conquer a little bit of new land and have a bit of new voters? I posted on Schumer and told him that is how construction works to make the building better. Yeah, no kidding. It's hilarious. They have derangement syndrome about the White House construction. Trump paid for this. The donors paid for this. But they'll cry their eyes out, oh, how dare he? You didn't say a damn word when Obama built a basketball court. The ballroom is actually going to make us money. But you didn't care about the basketball court, which isn't going to make anyone money. Trump is on the Epstein files and you all are sheep. How come you didn't read the first page of the Epstein files? And do you have any evidence of that, Gabby? Because I would love to read... I would love to read wherever you found that at. So please send me the information so I can, confirm what you saw with my own 2 eyes. Because, rumors and accusations are the exact kind of thing that can get you sued. If you were important enough for Trump to actually care about, he would sue you for that. Because that is a false allegation. I did read the first couple pages of the Epstein files, actually. I'll be honest, I didn't read it when it first got released, but the other day I read, hey, thank you, the Major, for that super chat. See, the Major doesn't like Epstein and he doesn't like Diddy, but the rest of you, I don't think you can say the same, because I said drop a super chat If you don't like Diddy and you don't like Epstein and you don't like PDF files, Diddy ain't even as bad as PDF files or Epstein. I mean, Diddy might have done something with PDF files, but he don't have those types of charges. Hey, thank you, David. Smash that like and subscribe button. Hey, Jamie, if you think you're smarter than me, please come on here and let's have a conversation and a debate. Hey, thank you, the Major. Appreciated. You're so insecure and sad. I'm not insecure even a little bit, and I'm not even sad a little bit. Today was a wonderful day for me. Debate me, coward! Dennis, you're trolling so hard now. You can join the Democrats with that trolling. That's what they always tell me. Well, Dennis doesn't have a debate channel. I mean, I don't know if he's ever done any debates before, but I don't blame him, man. Some of these people just come on here just to troll. The minute you start trolling in a debate, I'm just going to remove you. But there's my Discord if you want to come on, debate, have a discussion. Once again, there is a vetting process right now because there's so many, disingenuous people that don't want to have a genuine conversation. There is now, unfortunately, a, vetting process. And everyone gets mad because I do let people skip the vetting process for a fee. Like now that I have an extensive vetting process, I have plenty of people I can debate. I have plenty of people I can have on my show. I don't ever have to ask anyone ever again to come on my channel. I have plenty of people if I really want. And if I could have someone on every single day, which I pretty much do, for years on end and never need another person. Check your email, check your email, check your email. What did you send me? It's probably nothing good, but I'll check it when I get the opportunity to. But yeah, I do let people skip the line is my point what I'm trying to make. Because I have enough people to be on my show whenever I want. Opinion on big booty Latinas. If they're legal, they can stay. If they're legal, they can stay. But if they're not legal, they gotta go. A long time ago, I did date one of them. Not actually too long ago, but a while ago I dated one, and her dad didn't have his papers, and I did everything I could to try to get this man his papers because I didn't want to have to send them back, but I did everything I could to get his papers, try to encourage him, and I'm happy to see this day now he has his papers. He's been here for 20 plus years. I mean, he's been ignoring the law. That's immoral to do. I don't think he's necessarily the most horrible guy, but he did go out of his way to fix his immigration status. Now he's legal. Isn't that fantastic? This man is fantastic. Like, he fixed his immigration status. I encouraged him. I tried to help him. I offered to, give him a lawyer I know, but he didn't want to use my lawyer. He went through another lawyer. And now he's a legal citizen. It's fantastic, guys. I love to see legal immigrants, get into their status or whatnot. Talk about the Discord again. What do you want to know about the Discord? Just join the Discord. Links in my bio. What else is there to talk about? Not much to talk about on the Discord. What's the vetting process? Anyone can join the Discord. The only vetting process is to be on the stream. And like I said, there's only a vetting process if you don't want to pay the fee to skip the line. I told you to come on to debate me multiple times, Mr. Sage Outcast. I exposed you already several times on my stream. I said, this guy, Sage, does not want to debate me unless I give him a pre-written script, just like Kamala Harris. And by the way, everything you said about tariffs were completely pretty much wrong. I gave you a topic and you said, no, give me a script. I'm not doing this unless you give me a script. Come on my show. I mean, Sage, you might as well just start crying because a couple weeks ago I was, a little bit behind you in subscribers. Now I'm about to pass you. You wanted a Kamala Harris style debate. You said, give me all the questions, give me all the prompts. We got to talk about everything. And tariffs are the only good thing you can debate about. Let's debate about immigration. Maybe that's why you didn't want to debate me on immigration, because I'm an expert. When it comes to immigration, I know a lot. You can't debate about anything but tariffs because that's a relatively, there's no proof for it or against it because you can't give me an example of much stuff that has gone up in prices. And I remember what you were wrong about now. Here's what you were wrong about. You said that Biden's CHIP Act or his Inflation Act got these countries to invest in them. Dude, you were 100% wrong with that. 100% wrong. They told Trump to his face. They said, okay, let's negotiate the tariff deal. Then they did a deal with the tariffs. Then they said, okay, we're going to invest money directly into the United States because of these tariffs, because of Donald J. Trump, because of these issues we've had. They don't just randomly invest into the country. It has nothing to do with Biden. They literally invested into the country after we put tariffs on them and they came to the negotiation table. At the same exact time they're negotiating the trade deal, they negotiated to invest directly into the country. Biden was a failure, and if you can't see that, we don't have much to debate on. 9.8% inflation under Joe Biden. The numbers don't lie. You were wrong. The $17 trillion that was invested into the United States has nothing to do with Biden. Every single time they invest money into this country, it's because they're at the negotiation table with Donald J. Trump, talking with Donald J. Trump. They don't just randomly call up the United States and say, hey, we want to invest a couple trillion. No, every single dollar that's been invested into the country is because of Donald J. Trump coming to the negotiation table and talking with these countries. You're out of your fucking mind if you think that they, randomly just decided to invest money into the country. Like, I don't know what kind of crack you're smoking, but the same thing that you talk over with the tariffs is on every single one of your streams. Oh, they're investing trillions of dollars into the country because of Joe Biden's CHIP Act and the Inflation Act and all this bullshit that never did anything. First off, it's literally 4 years, 3 years later, 2 or 3 years later. And second off, they aren't investing any money out of the blue. They're investing every single time they come to talk with the current president of the United States. So let me debunk your whole plot. Oh, they invested because of Joe Biden. No, they didn't invest because of Joe Biden. They invested because Donald J. Trump is the president. But guys, let's get past 100 likes. Smash that like and subscribe button. Like, really, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what world you live in. You have Trump derangement syndrome. But guys, let's get past to 100 likes real fast, real quick. And by the way, all the trade deals have been signed. Just a lot of them aren't in effect yet. The one with the UK, I think, is one of the only ones that isn't in effect yet. But the one with the European Union, it's in effect. The one with South Korea, that's in effect. I mean, I don't have all the list in front of me right now, but I appreciate you guys emailing me. But the best way to get in touch with me is to join the Discord. Okay, Dennis, you want me to call in? Here, I'll let you come on the show, man. Hold on. If you're free to answer, I'll get you on here right now. Okay, Dennis, you want me to call in? Oh, there's the echoing from my own freaking video. Hold on, guys. Hold the door. Let's call Dennis real quick, guys. Let's call Dennis on Discord. Wasn't Discord hacked? I don't know. Hello, Dennis.
Hey, what's poppin'?
Hey, what's up, man? I was just telling this guy that's been wanting to debate me. He's always screaming about tariffs on his YouTube channel and says, oh, all the money that's being invested right now is because of Joe Biden's, two political policy, which was, he did the Inflation Reduction Act, which did nothing. That was done in 2022. Yeah, that was done in 2022. Literally 1 year later, we had record inflation. 1 year after he made that Inflation Reduction Act, we had record high inflation. And also the CHIPS Act, which basically also gave a bit of money to other, companies from other countries. But I don't know what your opinions are on the tariff. You're muted, though. I can't hear you. Hello?
Yeah, I muted so you don't get the extra echo on there.
It's okay. What do you think about what he said about the tariffs?
It's horrible, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has a Trump derangement syndrome.
So the problem with government when they try to bring in things to help the inflation is that they don't make deals. They don't make investments. There's no money coming in. They know that this country is powerful. They know that we are probably one of the richest countries in the world, and they don't know how to budget. They don't know how to save people's money. So they see trillions of dollars that they can use, and they just keep spending billions here, millions here. They don't know what it does to the economy. So they can come up with ideas to try to fix the economy, and it's not going to do anything because the more money comes in, the more money they spend. The difference between Donald Trump spending more money today is because he's put in tariffs not to screw the world, but to make them come and make deals that are fair, trading deals for the American people so that businesses can make money internationally and domestically. And the other biggest difference is that Trump has already secured over $19 trillion in investments that is coming back to the United States of America. And during the last decade and a half, Democrats have wasted $36 trillion, which is what we are in debt today. $26 trillion of that they cannot account for. So we don't know where the money went. And all Democrats can say, Trump bad, Orange Man bad.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you just said. Like, spending more money is not going to lower inflation, and that's literally, I'm reading what the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 did. All they did was spend $500 billion on useless stuff. I mean, they invested in clean energy, $400 billion in clean energy to reduce inflation. What does that have to do with reducing inflation? Healthcare, okay, you can argue that's okay, but most of it was for, Medicare and stuff like that. You can argue that's okay to do. That's $100 billion. But most of this money, the Inflation Reduction Act, was spent on clean energy. How does that lower inflation? Like, I'm so confused. No wonder we had record high inflation of 9.8% right after he passed this Inflation Reduction Act in 2022. Like, what can we expect if you're going to spend more money that's not going to lower inflation?
Yeah, they gave him wrong intel because they told him that everything going electric was the biggest and best idea in the whole world, and we know that was a very expensive program. It screwed a lot of businesses like oil, a lot of fracking going on, which they say they were not going to do, but they did. And so it doesn't matter how smart they think they are making these investments, with this new technology. We already know that all these windmills that they do for power, they're useless, expensive, and really bad for the environment. So everything that they've been trying to work on has been just backwards. They're horrible. The reason why we're paying $4.09 in gas here in Washington State is because there's over $1 in taxes, local taxes, nothing to do with tariffs, nothing to do with the pricing of the barrel of oil. Is because of the blue state and city local government. They only think about paying, getting taxes from the American people, in this case, Washingtonians. Everybody here in Washington State suffers from paying high taxes on everything. They want to raise minimum wage, which causes businesses to raise prices on their products that they're selling. And we're talking about places like McDonald's, Jack in the Box, fast food restaurants that have to raise their minimum wage. And they think that people are going to have more money by raising the minimum wage. But what they don't understand is that raising the minimum wage means that companies have to put more money out than what they actually bring in. And that doesn't help the economy. See, the way that they think is that the rich people need to support the poor people. And that's not how it works. Is the poor people need to remember to stay responsible. They have to be good American citizens that also pitch in to the economy of this country. And they need to be taught that you have to work hard. You have to be respectful. You have to follow authority. You have to respect authority. And the people here are no longer being taught to be patriots. They're being taught to allow this country to be given away to migrants, and not just illegal migrants, but just migrants, period. We got Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, in Congress. She's sending so much money to Somalia. As a matter of fact, if you go into my X account, you're going to see a post that I put on there on the X account where this lady's telling us that Somalia, it's actually their economy is going down big time since we shut down the USID, which tells me that Democrats are wasting money on international countries while our country here starts paying the consequences of $37 trillion in debt. And out of all of this stuff, they hate to give President Donald Trump any credit for any good that he has done in our country. And again, the big difference that I'm going to emphasize, and I have to let go of this call, it's that President Donald Trump is spending money in the military, races for ICE, everything to help secure our country. But he is the only president that has brought $19 trillion in investment. He's the only president trying to bring those manufacturing jobs back over here. Even though we're going to have a lot of autonomous robots doing a lot of the labors, the American people will have a better chance to do more things like software engineer and doctors, nurses, the things that we actually need as humans. And they need to recognize that President Trump is bringing money in, and that's why we're spending more money out. Where Democrats were spending a lot of money out and not bringing anything in and depending on the people to pay local taxes, which I'm against. I am pro-tariffs and I am against local taxes. And that's what I got, my brother. And I got to let you go. And
All
God
right,
bless
man.
you, man. You're doing a great job. Keep
Have
up
a
the
good one.
work.
God bless you, man. Have a good one. Peace. Yeah, guys, he was 100%. He was 100% right about that. I mean, how are some of these socialists, these communists, and these Democrats crying, saying, "Oh, we got to pay the McDonald's workers $75,000 a year"? Buddy, your job is going to be gone the minute we start paying McDonald's workers $30 an hour. They're just going to replace you with a robot. I mean, you're already on the way out. Probably within the next 5 years, we're not going to see any more freaking fast food workers. It's just going to be a bunch of AI robots. Then you're going to lose your job anyway. So, and if you try to make them pay you $30 an hour, you're just going to lose your job even faster. You're only going to speed up that 5-year window. That's the only thing that's going to happen. That's going to change. I'm not shaming anyone for flipping burgers. You just shouldn't get $70,000 a year for flipping burgers at McDonald's. I'm sorry. It's meant to be an entry-level job while you either study in college or you go to a vocational school and you learn some other trade or some other skill. And then you can get a higher paying job. I mean, if you care about money, you can go lift some asphalt and get paid $30 to $40 an hour. You can go pave some concrete or do some kind of manual labor and get $30 to $40 an hour. It's very simple. Minimum wage isn't supposed to be, for you to buy your first house. It isn't even supposed to get you a 1-bedroom apartment in New York City. I don't want to hear all that bullshit. Oh, it should afford me at least a 1-bedroom in New York City. New York City is one of the most expensive cities in the world. It should not be able to afford you that. This kind of job is for you to live with other roommates, other very basic stuff. Like, sure, you can work at McDonald's and live with a couple other roommates, and you can all put money together and you can be able to, afford to live. But that's what minimum wage is, from my opinion. This isn't the 1920s. This is just my opinion. If you work at McDonald's, it'll be enough for you and your family, or enough for you and your friends to put money together so you guys can live on your own. Amazing stream. I appreciate that, I Swallow Gum. So you guys can put money together and live on your own, or you can, go to school, get some other kind of training, vocational training. Maybe you can learn how to code. You can even do some self-taught skills while you're working at McDonald's, and you can start building your life and your career from that. But at McDonald's is not supposed to be a career where you buy a new house, buy a brand new car, have 3 kids and a wife. Okay, working at McDonald's was never supposed to buy you a $400,000 house. Not even in the 1950s, not even in the 1920s. Now, are there people that have bought houses from McDonald's money before? Absolutely. If you save your money, if you invest your money and you're smart, anything's possible. But it wasn't meant to do this kind of stuff for you. But slap that like and subscribe button. I don't care if McDonald's was, 100 trillion, a quadrillion dollar corporation. It's not meant to buy you a brand new house. And another company, no man and no company owes you anything. Just remember that at the end of the day. If a company decides to give you a bonus or someone else decides to help you out, that's their free will to do so, but they don't owe you anything. They don't have to do it. It's very that simple. I appreciate it, brother of the road. So will you come out with a bit more raising the minimum wage? Am I for raising the minimum wage in some circumstances? Absolutely. But I'm not for paying McDonald's workers $30 an hour. That's a no-go. But if we're talking about somewhere like, Tennessee, Arkansas, where some McDonald's workers might legitimately be making $8 or $9 an hour, sure, we can raise their minimum wage. Why not? Doesn't sound like too much of a bad idea. But I'm not for raising their minimum wage to $30 an hour. Let's be honest here. McDonald's workers are going to all lose their jobs within the next 5 years. The economy is going to be a different place, and the whole way stuff works today is going to be completely different. I truly believe in the next 5 years, the economy and the world, how it functions as a whole, is going to be significantly different. This is probably going to be like, from 1950 to 2000. It's probably going to be that big of a gap, if I had to guess. 5 years is going to move like 50 years back in the day. That's how fast technology and AI and stuff is going to create new innovations. The world is going to completely change before your eyes. It's probably going to not be that recognizable to especially a lot of the people that are a bit older or people that just don't keep up with these kinds of things. McDonald's is not a career. That's absolutely right, Mike. It's factory jobs that pay $15 an hour? Exactly. Factory jobs are harder than McDonald's jobs, but these McDonald's workers want to make more than, some people that are doing all kinds of more important jobs. And they don't care. They all say, $75,000 a year. Buddy, you know how many people are doing life-saving jobs and they aren't making anywhere close to that? Just because you say you want it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I really don't understand communists or anarchists. First off, they believe in a failed system. Second off, you're believing in a political system that's never going to come to the country you live in. If you love communism and anarchism so much, why don't you go find a society or a country where they have that and go live there? But you won't. You won't. You'll make excuses and you won't because deep down you know it's not good. Pay EMTs more, 100% pay nurses more, even pay doctors more. But we don't have a reason to pay freaking, McDonald's workers $30 or more an hour. I know communists and anarchists are two different things, but there are communists that believe in anarchy as well. Anarcho-communists, but yeah, they are two different things. We know that. You like public roads? Socialism. Let me clarify something. You tell me the definition of socialism, Aloha, because that is not the definition of socialism, my friend. That is just what you call a government-funded program. Government-funded programs don't equal socialism, but a lot of Democrats don't know where to draw the line. They couldn't even give you a very basic definition for socialism. The UK technically is not socialist, but it's nearing socialism. Your definition? No, it's not my definition. My definition is what socialism, closer to actually what socialism is. Socialism does not equal communism, but wasn't it Lenin that said socialism is, the pathway to communism? Define fascism. I doubt you can. Socialism is a tongue-in-cheek communism, yeah. If you guys have any actual questions or comments, then let me know. Drop some super chats. But I doubt most of you can define communism, or not communism. I doubt most of you can define fascism or socialism. There's a 99% chance you won't be able to define it. Of course I'll do it. You're telling me to do it, but I want to see if any of you answer first. If you want me to define socialism, I can. I'll give a very basic, broad definition of socialism. Once at least one person attempts to define it. If one person doesn't even attempt to define socialism, I'm just not going to bother. Whose quote is that from, Ozzy? Is that Lenin too? That might be somewhat the definition of communism, Aloha. That's not socialism. Communism is closer. It's not actuality because communism has never actually worked like this before. Worker controls the means of production. Socialism is like the government controls the means of production. And communism is, in theory, supposed to be worker controls the means of production, but there's a million things you can go into about communism. It's a little bit more complicated than socialism, in my opinion. Karl Marx. That's from Karl Marx? Huh, interesting. Okay, I'll give you some props, Mr. Death Note. That is true. Congratulations on knowing about it. It seems like the Australian school systems have done you well, sir. See, we got one person that actually knows his stuff out of all these people. One guy knows his stuff. That is sad. Both equal oppression. Bingo. What I said just lengthier, you mean actually the definition is pretty much what the deaf man said. And refuse to vet me, I mean, I'm on stream right now, so I'm not going to take my time to vet you while I'm on stream. How am I going to do both at once? I'm talking to an audience. If you care that much about debating with me, you can wait patiently in the Discord, or you can drop $50 to skip the line like everyone else does. Agreed, Kathy, agreed. Luckily, that doesn't really happen that much in the United States, if at all. I can't debate you, I agree. That's awesome, Dr. David. I mean, we probably agree on some things, Aloha. I would have a beer with you, but we're probably nowhere near each other. People love being around me. Just bums that are communists and want to, and bums that are communist and socialists don't want to be around me, and extreme leftists, pretty much. I have plenty of Democrat friends. I mean, my great friend, he's a lawyer, and he's a libertarian Democrat, basically. More libertarian, but he votes Democrat. Protesting higher wages, some jobs, like I said, are never going to get the wages they feel like they deserve. If you love talking, if you guys want to talk with me, if you guys want to set something up, then join my Discord. I'm more than welcome to do it. Like I said, you just have to be patient with me if you're demanding of me, if you're rude, if you're arrogant, or if you're ignorant. Hell, I'll even let your arrogance or ignorance be fine. But if you're rude with me or you're just an overall asshole, then we're probably not going to debate. I'll just keep it simple like that. But I will probably hop off stream and I will look for one of you guys that wants to come on or debate. I get that you're ready. I've made it very clear to you. Trump can go for a third time. We just need a third term. We just need to ratify the Constitution. It can happen. But join my Discord, fellas. I'm going to hop off in a moment. Later, Dennis. Well, I have a guy that could probably tell you the story better than me, Dr. David. When it comes to these in-depth conversations about socialism and communism, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm the most well-rounded person to talk about it. But my friend, he's a YouTuber. He runs a very big channel, 800,000 subscribers. He's Cuban, and he can explain socialism and communism and the history of it way better. We're going to have him on here. We're going to have him on here whenever he's available, maybe this weekend, possibly. Everyone needs to come to the Discord after the stream. Yeah, I'm going to post the Discord link right here, and then I'm probably going to join in the Discord for a couple minutes. I got a haircut because I was talking about getting one for a while. I really don't care what you think, Cassidy. I'm not really into trans weirdos. But you can think that all you want. But anyway, I'll be back, guys. I'll be back. Join the Discord. I'll be back with a guest probably.